in the movies, during some kind of government siege or something like that, you'll hear, "We do not negotiate with terrorists." You'll hear that. The terrorists like, "Look, you've been bombing our area for the longest. We've got your son. You're going to leave our nation or else." Then it's like, what are we going to do? We don't negotiate with terrorists. We got to cut a deal. Well, let's take it back from that, okay? Let's reduce that, lower that, better than that, all right? This is what we're going to do. Right now, United States, we've got terrorists here living. We got them. If there is a group of people who are, by and large, innocuous, harmless, then you got to think about those that cause harm to that group, that makes that group almost terrified to show up. Granted, I mean, we've had groups that made sure black people couldn't vote, but then that slowly failed, and now it's on the rise again. We had groups, even within the minority community, that will say, if you're gay, you're going to die because reasons. If you are of the same-sex orientation, of anything, of any kind, we're going to persecute you and hurt you. If you are not visually, mentally well adjusted in appearance, meaning you might have some mental deficiency or something like that, I'm not going to say the R word, then we're going to persecute you, ridicule you, and then use your name to insult other people that we disagree with. If you are of the same sex orientation, we're going to use that word to recite things that are stupid, to claim what is dumb, what we don't like, things that are unfavorable, undesirable. We'll use that word. And then to make sure that we stay out of trouble, we'll say the same word, but it's spelled differently. See, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. That's terrorism. There's a reason why people were in the closet, and that's not a term just for the LGBTQIA. That's general term. In the closet is actually a general term saying I'm too afraid to come out and it's the safest place in the house because no one's going to, for some reason, look there behind all the clothes and stuff that's hanging up. The closet is where the skeletons are, those things that not that group do, but, you know, these epic conservatives on either side of the political spectrum. Those things that they do, it's not like, you know, certain ones will go out to strip clubs, send penis pictures, text underage people, take documents and stuff that's not for them. You know, things like that. No, they're not going to do anything bad. They're not going to go and harass and molest women or men, or they're not going to rape little kids or anything like that. And you know, these religious holy areas, you know, people are scared. You know, you invade a country and then when they fight back, you call them terrorists. But then people here are terrorizing the people in groups by name. They have names. They've got organizations. They take money to keep their organizations running. And if the military is supposed to defend the United States of America against enemies both foreign and domestic, then why can't those who write legislation, laws, and whatnot have the power of the veto, the power of the vote? Why can't they do the same as they ask of the military? That's the good question. There is no need to protect legitimate terrorists. There is no need. The group says we are Proud Boys. We are white nationalists. You know, we are Catholic priests. Now, just in general, a priest. Even the priestesses are now doing these molestation and rape things to little kids. I'll be honest with you, what's worse, the fact that they're doing it, or the parents is like, hey, I know you did, I know you got the charge, but here's my kid anyway. So if don't ask of others what you're not willing to try to do or will do yourself. And if I were of that age and I was in the military and I'm supposed to protect this country from people, from enemies, foreign and domestic, and yet I am supposed to aid in the demonization of those who, by and large, by name, cause no harm to anyone, but everyone else cause harm to them, I'm going to probably have to I'm going to be dishonorably discharged, because that is an epic breach of a code. That is like stronger than the Constitution, so much so that it is said in movies, TV shows. It is said by our government officials, our public servants, our social servants. It is said by all of that, and yet for some reason, not one of them has lifted the pen to end all of these domestic terrorists. And that's why our politicians are a joke. That's why the elections are a joke. And anyone who votes for anybody under the guise of making this country better is outright, absolute full of themselves. And they're liars. And they should not be able to vote, because their vote is a lie, just like them. Thank you for listening.